Oh my God. Okay, no. Might get the exciting part. So I was just reading the story. It felt like it was just a story. I'm just reading the story. And I was thinking about how it corresponds to prayer, right? And I think we can basically get that picture, right? David's consulting of the priest, who has the Urim and the Thummim that he consults, is like a believer reaching out to God in prayer. It's David's access to God for divine direction. So I want to know what to do in this situation. David goes to the priest. He consults that Urim and the Thummim. And David is so bright and so smart. He's not going to just ask a general question like I usually do. Oh Lord, what do I do? And I remember so many times being in prayer and seeking for direction, and I used to tell my wife this all the time. Oh, it seems like he never answers. I don't get an answer. Now, sometimes I do get an answer like this or that, or sometimes he talks about things that I don't want to talk about. I remember specifically one time I was asking the Lord about financial situation, asking the Lord for deliverance of this. What do I do? What should I do? He started talking about being a deacon. Lord, this is not even the topic. We know the topic. And my wife asked me we were meeting on Saturdays for prayer, and she asked me one time, that Saturday I didn't come down to pray, and she said, what's the matter with you? Lord doesn't talk about what I want to talk about. This prayer is not getting me anywhere. And she rebuked me. I went back the next Saturday. I leave all my dirty laundry out. We learned something, I hope, from it. But oftentimes I remember having the experience of asking him specifically, Lord, what do I do? What do I do? And getting that quiet kind of the crickets are cricketing. And I wonder. And it never occurred to me that I could operate in this principle that David operates in. Now, David has certain instincts, certain things that he thinks are right. I have an example of attacking the Philistines and protecting Gill. David's first instinct is to say, I should fight. So he forms a question, a yes or no question, based on that instinct. Should I fight with them? And that gives the Lord the option of answering either yes or no. If it's no, then David has to wait to find out or form another question. Well, then, should I do this? Or should I do that? But the amazing thing is, whether it's yes or no, it clarifies one aspect of his concerns, right? If the Lord had said, no, don't go down against Gill, he would at least know he wasn't supposed to bring his men down. He would have gotten some clarity on the matter.
All right.
When he says yes, then he knows he should go down. Right? And I thought, oh my God. In asking a prayer of direction, what's to hinder me from asking a yes or no question? And that means, what's to hinder me from at least taking the thought that's in my mind and posing it as a question and letting God weigh it and determine whether or not He's with it. You ever have it? I know you've had situations. You have situations yourself where you have some kind of problem and you think, Lord, what am I going to do? I got this notice. I know I don't owe this money. It can't be so. Lord, should I go down to that office? Just a yes or no. He tells you, no, I've got the situation in hand. You don't need to stir it up. Or he say, yes, go down. And notice this too. This is what gets me excited. The yes or no, if the Lord's answering, He's not going to just answer yes or no, right? Go back and look at that. Go look again at that first question that he asked him. Second verse. 2 shall I go down and smite these Philistines? And the Lord said, smite the Philistines and save Keilah. So he gave them the distinct information, right? A little more added information. Should I go down and smite them? Should I go down and fight them? The Lord said, yeah, go down and fight them and you'll win. Right? He didn't send them down. David could know. Once we go down there, victory is assured. The Lord said we'll save Keilah. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. God added some extra information. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So I said in a practical sense, if I try this, ask the Lord, should I go down to that office and talk to the Lord by throwing some extra information? Yes. And don't see Mrs. Winters, because she'll know.
I hear you.
Don't go to the director, go to the assistant director. Y'all see that? Oh, you can't feel it. You're not feeling it. I said, oh my God. Start really crafting the prayer for direction so that we can get a practical answer. And so God really can, it will be settled. He'll say yes or he'll say no. All right. Take a look at this. Take a look at this too. Down with that second prayer, that's the prayer once they were in Keilah, and whether or not the Lord was going to, whether or not Saul was going to come down against them. So he asked a practical question, right? Yes or no question. Is Saul going to come down? And the Lord said, yes, he's going to come down. And that always can lead, that first question can always lead to a second question. David even had the second question before he asked the first. Right? He really asked him out of order initially. Will Keilah deliver me up? Will Saul come down? Will Keilah deliver me up? But the point being that in this prayer for direction, we can ask a series of simple yes or no questions. Lord, should I do this? When he says yes, then say, well, Lord, what will happen here? And he'll say, yes, this will happen, or no, that will happen. I said, oh my goodness, I can't wait to put this into practice. I want to test this out and see if it runs like it ran for David. All I keep thinking about when I'm reading the story of David is that he did no different than me. If David has success, why can't I have success? If David has God's blessing, why can't I have God's blessing? I'm serving the Lord like David served the Lord. I'm real about the Lord like David was real about the Lord. I got a heart for God. Like David had a heart for God. I ought to be able to use his principles and practices. I ought to be able to use his devices and the ways that he knows how to get answers out of God, how to be blessed by God.